Um, among those of you present in class, is there anybody that's ready to do his or her presentation today? If you are ready, let me know, please.
Hello, sir. I'm ready, sir.
You are ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, please talk to us. You have 10 minutes to do that.
Okay, sir.
Talk to us. Tell us the title of your paper, your name, and then any other information you think you should know.
Okay,
Okay.
sir. My name is.
Yusuf, is Yusuf in class?
Yes, sir.
Yusuf, are
Good
you in
afternoon, sir.
class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Yusuf, you are the timekeeper. So you
Okay,
time the
sir.
class, okay? Each
Yes, sir.
presentation is 10 minutes, okay?
Okay, sir.
So the time starts now, please. This is 4:45. So the
Okay,
presentation
sir.
starts now, okay? Okay,
Yes, sir.
please write on. Thank you. So tell me your name and the title of your work.
My name is Bolaji Olowo.
You say what?
My name is Bolaji Olowo.
Olaji Olowo.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, what's the
I'm a
title of your work?
to integrate Nigerian public policy vis-a-vis democracy, quality representation, and citizenry involvement.
Okay, so talk to us.
First of all, I define what public policy is.
Okay.
So, public policy refers to the deliberate actions, decisions, and laws formulated and implemented by government bodies to address public issues and achieve societal objectives.
Okay.
I also brought views of some scholars on public policy.
Okay.
Number one, Thomas Dye
Okay.
said public policy is whatever the government chooses to do or not to do,
Yeah.
which are the rules said public policy is a course or pattern of activity.
Okay.
The Egon 1 2000 said public policy is an important action of the government.
Yes.
Then with this brief definition of public policy, I also was just continue to shortly just explain what democracy is all about.
Okay.
So I said democracy is a system of government where power is ultimately held by the people, either directly or through elected representatives.
Okay.
Which means citizens have the right to participate in political decision making and to have their voices heard.
Okay.
And I also brought views of some scholars as well, like Aristotle. He viewed democracy as the freedom of every citizen. Then Abraham Lincoln, the famous saying of "government of the people, by people, and for the people."
Okay.
Okay. So, so hello, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, so can I continue, sir?
Yes, continue. I'm with you in the class.
Okay, sir. So in
Yes,
Nigeria,
I'm hearing you, yes.
in Nigeria, public policy addresses various national issues, priorities, which includes fighting corruption, improving security, tackling unemployment, about the economy, and also in some cases climate resilience.
Okay.
Yeah. Then it's in public policy as well, integrating public policy and democratic principles,
Yes.
emphasizing citizenry involvement, ensuring that citizens are actively and meaningfully included in the process of policy formulation, implementation, and evaluation.
Okay.
So this inclusion enhances democratic legitimacy, promotes more effective and relevant policies, and strengthens civic engagement.
Okay. Okay.
So how do we look at it, sir? I put it in three ways. How we marry public policy and democratic principles in our
Okay.
involvement. One, I said citizen participation in policy design,
Okay.
and which is a public consultation. You consult the public on what you want to do. I regularly engage citizens through town hall meetings, public
Okay.
forums, online surveys, focus group, or focus group to gather input on public proposals. For example, the review of 1999 constitution, right, where there was a all town hall
Okay.
meetings and public forums and online
Okay.
hello, sir.
Are you finished? I'm hearing you. Are
No,
you
no,
finished?
I'm not. It's not I'm continuing, sir. And also the National Communication Commission Governance Constitution input from stakeholders on policies related to internet access service to all. That's another
Okay.
one that was shown to the public for people's inputs.
Okay.
Then the B part is the deliberative processes, which is still under citizen participation in public policy, sir. In policy design, rather. I just spoke on policy on public constitution, sir. So I'm also discussing on deliberate processes.
Okay.
Am I communicating, sir?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, sir. So here, you utilize methods like citizen assemblies or mini publics to allow diverse voices to be heard on issues that are complex.
Okay.
For example, with the COVID-19 and during COVID-19 response teams are seen as this presidential task force team then that went around town hall meeting community leaders and local places just to sensitize people on the dangers of COVID-19 and how to respond to it.
Okay.
Then another aspect is the open government initiative, which is
Okay.
part of citizen participation in policy design, sir.
Okay.
Here implementing open data policies and access to information to foster transparency and encourage citizen engagement.
Okay.
And after this are now the community-based planning.
Okay.
Involves local community in planning and development of public space, infrastructure, and services to ensure policies
Okay.
are responsive to local needs, sir.
Okay.
That's the first aspect, sir.
Okay.
And then I now move to the citizen involvement in policy implementation, sir. The first one was policy policy design. Now I'm now in policy implementation.
Okay.
Then which is after that we have the monitoring and evaluation.
Okay.
Empower citizens to monitor policy situation and provide feedback on its effectiveness.
Okay.
Then the other aspect is community-based monitoring, which stipulate that utilize community-based monitoring mechanism to ensure that policies are implemented as intended and that their impact are well and effectively assessed.
Okay.
Then the other part is citizen reporting, which is still part of citizen involvement in policy implementation, sir. Here, establishing channels for citizens to report concerns or issues related to policy implementation, sir. Here, this is where the social media comes in and the bloggers and websites to share news and images and videos. For example, the Sahara reporters where they share open informations to the public, to sensitize the public, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Then the third aspect is strengthening citizen engagement. So I earlier discussed policy design, policy implementation. Then third one is strengthening civic engagement, which here we have a civic education, community organizations, volunteering, digital engagement. I'm trying to meet up with the time, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And then the last one we have ensuring accountability and transparency, which is the last part. Here we have the independent oversight. For example, establishing independent bodies to oversee implementation of policy and ensure accountability. E.g., that's where the legislative arm of government comes in, with the oversight functions. Hello, sir.
I'm hearing you.
Sir?
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yes, you are
And
communicating.
also we have this is where we have the ICPC and the FCC monitoring anti-corruption, monitoring the anti-corruption, which are the anti-corruption agencies monitoring or like, oversight functions on government bodies and also individuals, sir.
Okay.
And transparency in decision making, making policy decisions more important and access to the public. Then I think the last part is a feedback mechanism
Okay. Okay.
where you are establishing mechanism for citizens to provide feedback on policy decisions and hold decision makers accountable.
Okay.
In a nutshell, public policy with democratic principles and promoting citizen involvement, government can create more effective, responsible, and responsive policies that benefit all members of society. So I believe if we have a more robust collaboration in terms of where we have policy designs, implementation, evaluation, and a feedback mechanism, I don't think there'll be a problem.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. That's right. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Your time
I think
is
we
up, but
yes, sir. Okay.
Yes. It's
your time
exactly
is
Thank you,
10
up.
sir.
I've
minutes.
not heard from our timekeeper.
Yeah, it's exactly 10 minutes. I was about to,
Okay, sir.
but I
Okay,
see, I can
that's
see that
good.
it's rounding up already.
That's
Okay, sir.
good.
That's some, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, class, we have 20 minutes to respond. Within 20 minutes, let us make our inputs. Mr. Bolaji, you presented
Yes, sir.
well. Kindly,
Yes.
hence we don't have the hard copy. Kindly remind us of the topic again.
Integrated Nigerian public policy vis-a-vis democracy, quality representation, and citizen involvement.
Okay. Nigeria's public policy
Yes, sir.
vis-a-vis
Vis-a-vis
democracy and
democracy.
citizens' involvement.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so class, if you have anything to say, make your input in 2 minutes. We do not have luxury of time, so please, if you have any input, make the input, please. So there's no contribution. There is no disagreement with any point he raised. Yeah, good. So if you think that there is no disagreement and there's no need to make contribution, we move to the next paper. So, Mr. Bolaji,
Yes, sir.
it's obvious that nobody have any other contribution to make.
Okay, sir.
But I just have a question for you.
Okay, sir.
The question is, do you think that we are practicing democracy in Nigeria?
And let me come, sir. In Nigeria, I don't think we're practicing pseudo democracy.
Okay.
I don't think I should speak for that, sir.
Okay, I'm hearing you.
Because I'm not. Let me speak as a political science student, sir.
Yes.
Pseudo democracy is not practicing that. Because if you want to practice full democracy in Nigeria, for example, it was take issue of resource continuity consideration.
Okay.
Just then federalism, which stipulates state, let's for example, the state police, state control resources, and to give a certain amount to the central government.
Okay.
But what we have in Nigeria is the center spreading to the states, not the states giving to the center. So I don't think that is democracy. We call it pseudo democracy, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
You know what we are practicing is actually command and control.
Yes, sir. Command and control.
Yeah. I think you're a police officer.
Yes, sir.
You people are used to command. Obey the last order.
Directive. Obey the last order. Yes, sir. It's directives.
So that you know what we are practicing in Nigeria has been described by a lot of scholars in so many ways. So some scholars, just a minute.
Okay, sir.
Some scholars have described Nigeria, what you're practicing in Nigeria, as a electoral autocracy. Some scholars have described what we are practicing as a civil rule. Some our there's this man that used to be in the National Assembly, Patrick Obahabo, Honorable Patrick Obahabo. I don't know how many of you remember that man from Edo State, the man that is very verbose. He combines Latin and Greek a lot in his words. When he's speaking, he blows it. Honorable Patrick Obahabo. He's according to him, Nigeria is practicing kakistomubu plutocracy. So for him, he sees that Nigeria is combining a lot of things borrowed from everywhere. So, and just like you said, as a political scientist, the ingredients, all those factors that makes democracy what it is actually lacking. So we're actually far from practicing democracy. Anyway, I thank you very much, Mr. Bolaji, for your inputs.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so it's not just that the class, nobody have anything to say in the class. So who is the next person that's ready to do presentation?
Okay.
Who else is ready to do presentation?
Hello, sir.
Okay, who is ready?
Hello, sir.
Yes, may I know your name, please?
Israel, sir.
Okay, Israel, are you doing presentation?
No, I have done mine, sir. I just have something to have a question based on your last. I don't want to. Well, I can call it a postulation, not necessarily from Bolaji's, lecture, but
Okay,
from what you just raised on whether we are practicing democracy or not.
yes.
I have my own view and personal opinion that even though we are not practicing a perfect democracy, I think it would be unfair to say we are not practicing democracy because
Okay,
we say have election, which is the major ingredient. People vote, people are being voted for, and we still know that election are won on the basis of who has the highest number. So I think these are the major ingredients of democracy by the people and for the people. So we are
okay,
talking democracy, and that I think that's why it's also called a nascent democracy. We are still
okay,
very young, we are growing, and I believe with time we'll do better and improve based on the
okay.
amendments that have been made to electoral acts and all that and all that.
Okay, Mr. Israel,
So
I agree with you that we have elections, but based on what you know and what you have observed, do you think that is our votes that determine who wins election in Nigeria?
to an extent I do, sir. Because let's see in fairness to all politicians.
Yes.
When it comes to corruption, rigging, electoral malpractices, every party does it. What I observe is that you do it more in a place where you have comparative advantage over others. If
Okay.
APC is in Kogi State now and the APC is more in Kogi, when they want to do their rigging, they will do it massively in Kogi State. If
Okay.
Labour is in Anambra and they want to rig the election in Anambra, they will do it massively in Anambra.
Okay. Okay.
So
Now, as students of governance and policy, is it proper for elections to be won in the Supreme Court in a democracy?
under our laws and constitution, there is nothing wrong, sir.
Okay. Now, you
I
know,
may be wrong. I may be wrong, but I'm talking based on our constitution that if after an election a party or an individual feel aggrieved or is not satisfied with the outcome of the election, because that is contained in our electoral laws. You can go to the court and ask for and ask for remedy.
okay.
And
You know,
probably some of these things might be even be due to human error, machine error or so. But I know us that we have our own way of doing things. I'm listening, sir,
okay.
because somebody like Peter Obi wouldn't have won an election. Somebody like Adams Oshomole wouldn't have won the election if not for our courts. Somebody
Yeah.
like Natasha Akpoti wouldn't have won an election. if not for the courts. And
Okay,
those, uh, yes, sir.
as students of governance and public policy,
Yes, sir.
we really need to see how to how we can get to a point whereby the best practice becomes the norm.
Yeah,
Okay, because the democracy we are practicing, is different from what we see as democracy in other parts of the world.
yeah,
That is why it's difficult to say whether we are actually practicing democracy or not. If you paid attention initially, like Bolaji talked about the fact that what we have is pseudo democracy, and I pointed out the fact that some scholars have given other nomenclatures to what we are practicing, like some who say we are practicing electoral autocracy. That means that every 4 years we go and vote. Okay, we go and vote, and our votes don't determine who wins. There are people who pull the triggers, who determine who wins. So there is autocracy in our system. Autocracy is deeply ingrained in our system. This is the position of some scholars. Some
yes, sir.
scholars say this is civil rule. It becomes a ritual. Let's just go and do it, okay? After all, at least we say after all, it's not the military that are there. So you see a lot of time, what we do has a semblance of coup. Now, coup being carried out by civilians, in the sense that you and I know that there are times when people win election and then it's stolen. Mandate is stolen. I'll give you an example. I come from Imo State, where after election, the fourth position, the person that took fourth position was made number one, first position.
Yeah, who's
So,
now?
so what happens to second and third position? So these are those things. When you do and when you interrogate what we are practicing, you discover that it is laughable. If you if you if you if you look at the tenets of democracy and what we are practicing, you know that we are far from what democracy is. So we have a duty actually as students of governance and policy to really interrogate the process. We need to be sure of what we are doing. Yes, you made a point that this is nascent democracy. Yes, I agree with you. But I also agree with you that we are old enough. We're old enough now to stand on our feet. We're old enough now to do better. If you just oppose the way politics is in practice in Nigeria today and what it was in 1999, do you think that what we have today is better than 1999? These are those questions we really need to interrogate as students of governance and public policy. Okay? Anyway, I thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you, Mr. Israel.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, is there any other person that have any other paper to present? Uh, Hello, is there another person that is ready? Is there another person that is ready? No other person. No other person is ready for the presentation. Okay, Yusuf,
Yes, sir.
please take note of those that have done their presentation.
Okay, sir.
Uh, at the
Yes, sir.
last class, how many persons did presentation?
Mr. Israel, Kelsey, yeah, that's the two people that presented. Mr. Israel and Kelsey.
Okay.
Hello,
So
Yes.
sir.
please, in the platform,
Hello,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
in the platform, you should help us by updating us with the number of names of those that have done presentation and then their topic. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Hello,
sir.
sir.
Update us in the platform, and then all those that have presented, please get a hard copy of your work.
Okay, sir.
Leave it with the secretary in the
Okay, sir.
institute. Okay. Leave it with Naomi, please.
Okay, sir.
Okay. It's like Mrs. Simi want to make presentation. Hello? Hello? Yes?
Honorable Simi,
Yeah, Mrs. Simi, talk to us. Hello?
She'll be talking, but she doesn't know her mic is. She's on mute.
Okay. She should unmute it. She should talk to us. Mrs. Simi, talk to us.
Maybe she's having troubles with her internet because she's not in the
Okay.
class anymore. Yes.
Okay.
So, real quick, I would like to do my own presentation as well.
Okay, please do that.
Okay, sir. Yes. Um, my topic is to discuss the role of policy in the following areas. These areas include innovations, intellectual property, and education.
Okay,
So,
talk to us.
so what we are looking at is uh, roles policy plays in uh, these areas. So,
Okay.
I first of all define public policy.
Okay.
Now, public policy refers to the actions a government takes or choose not to take to address issues and problems affecting the public. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, and I also gave some scholarly definitions, which Mr. Olu has covered. So I won't be repeating that. So let's go straight to roles of policy in innovation.
Okay.
Okay. Policy plays a crucial role in fostering and shaping innovation. It creates the environment and incentives and frameworks that enables innovations to thrive.
Okay.
We are going to look at the breakdown of how policy impacts innovations.
Okay.
So these are the key roles of policy in innovations.
Okay.
Number one, I start with creating a favorable environment. Policy can establish a stable and predictable legal and regulatory framework that encourages investment and risk taking. This includes protecting intellectual property rights,
Okay.
ensuring fair competition, and
Okay.
reducing bureaucratic hurdles.
Okay.
We also have providing financial incentives. Government can offer tax breaks, subsidies, and grants to support research and development and other innovative activities. These incentives can help offset the high costs and risks associated with innovations and particularly in early stage.
Okay.
So what we are looking at here is how finance has really sunk in uh, uh, innovations. For instance, on our social medias on daily basis, we come across a lot of innovation, a lot of ideas where young, brilliant Nigerians, bring up, like the likes of people that design automobile. They are not there yet, but the idea is there. They have these innovations. We have some Nigerians also working on how to generate electricity through the use of waste and all of these things. So these innovations requires government aids, and if there could be some kind of workshop for them, to try their knowledge, to exchange knowledge with other innovators, so as to come up with something reasonable. But finance is one of the major backbone. It's one of the problems that it's sinking this ship. So we are going to look at another role that policy plays in innovation, which includes investing in education and infrastructure. Policy can promote investment in education and training to develop a skilled workforce capable of driving innovation. Investing in infrastructure such as broadband internet and transportation network can also facilitate the diffusion of new technologies and ideas. We also have supporting research and development. Government can fund basic and applied research through public institutions and partnership with the private sector. This support can lead to breakthrough in science and technology that drives innovations in various industries. We're also going to look at promoting collaboration and knowledge sharing. Policy can encourage collaboration between universities, research institutions, and business to facilitate the exchange of knowledge and expertise. I think this is talking about the point I made earlier, about how these innovators can come together and romance their knowledge and come up with something. This can involve creating platform for networking, sharing best practices, and forming partnership. So another role policy can play in innovation is setting standard and regulations. Policy can establish standard and regulation that promotes innovation in specific sectors, such as renewable energy or healthcare. This standard can create market for new technologies and ensures that innovations meet safety and quality requirements. Yes. Um, what this point is talking about is, okay, we have a lot of brains coming together, and in process in the goal of reducing woman burdens and solving problems. So, but in the process of solving these problems, we also create other problems. So what this point is saying is, okay, there should be regulations,
Yeah,
there should be a board that. Hello, sir. Hello.
yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm in class. I'm
Okay.
hearing you.
There should be regulations, there should be a board that regulates these these methods or this innovation system. So we also look at addressing societal challenges. Policy can also direct innovations towards
Okay.
solving societal problems. For example, policy can create incentives for green technology to combat climate change. In essence, policy can act as a catalyst for innovation by creating the condition that enable it to flourish. And it can also guide innovations towards addressing societal needs and challenges. Therefore, well-designed policies are essential for
Okay.
fostering
Yusuf, you should be rounding up now.
Okay, yes, sir. So let me brush the roles of policy in education. You know, educational policy is the bedrock upon which effective educational systems are built. It provides the framework that guides how education is delivered, managed, and evaluated. We are going to look at the breakdowns in few minutes. I'll just brush through them. Breakdown of its crucial
Okay.
roles.
Please
Okay.
do that quickly.
Yes, sir. So policy in education, these are the roles they play. Setting goals and standards. Policy defines an overreaching goals of the educational system, such as increasing literacy rates, promoting critical thinking, or preparing students for the workforce. They establish academic standards that outline what students should know and be able to do at each level. So we are also going to look at ensuring access and equity. Policies plays a vital role in ensuring that all students, regardless of their background, have access to quality education. This includes policies and address issues such as school funding, transportation, and support for students with disability. And also we have guiding curriculum development. Policy influences the development of curriculum, determine the subject that are taught, the content that is covered, and the teaching method that are used. We also have regulating school operations. Policies establish rules and regulations that govern the operation of schools, including issues such as student discipline, teachers' qualifications, and school safety. And then allocating resources. Policies determine how resources are allocated to schools and educational programs, including funding, for teachers and facilities and materials. We also have promoting accountability. Policies establish mechanism for holding schools and educators accountable for students' performance and standardized testing and school evaluation. Adapting to societal needs, education policies must change with the changing needs of society. This includes the need to prepare students for a technological advancement world, also the need to prepare students to be a good citizen, to be good citizens. Yes. So in essence, educational policy shapes the direction and quality of education. It's also influencing every form of classroom instructions to school funding. It plays
Okay,
a critical
okay.
role
Okay,
in
round up
ensuring.
now.
Okay, yes, sir. Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Round up now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, Yusuf, for your presentation. Please, class, is there any contribution or any question? Yusuf is our teacher, so we need to ask him questions if there is any. Meanwhile, Yusuf, remind us of the topic again, hence we do not have your work with us.
Okay. The topic is to discuss the role of policy in the following areas. These areas includes innovations, education, intellectual properties.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So, so class, the ball is in your court. Make your contribution or you ask our teacher, Yusuf, question. Please do that. Any question, any contribution? No question. No contribution. In the absence of questions and contribution, our lecturer, Mr. Yusuf, I have a question for you. As a governance and public policy scholar, what is the state of the policies that have been made in the aforementioned areas? I mean, what is the state of the policies that have been made in these various areas we have discussed, intellectual property, education, and the rest? Can you say that the policies have been properly implemented? What do you have to say about it?
Well, the problem about Nigerian policy, for an example, is there are always an ideas. There's always a problem to solve. But when it comes to this implementation, that is when we have the comma. For instance, there are a lot of research that are being carried out on daily basis every day, you know, and what are the purpose of this research? They want to, use it to make policy, formulate policies. But most of this research just end up in, maybe in one professor's corner or in one agency table, and it doesn't go anywhere from there. So I would say, maybe for some reasons, for the financial gain or for exploitative means, they are always proposing policies, but always on paper. Practicalizing them has been the issue. Using Nigeria as an example. So to answer your questions, we are seeing the services, but it's not really happening. And we also have some good citizens among them, some good patriotic leaders, that try to come up with some policy, maybe like all this workshop training, giving trainings to people that has idea. Example are all these entrepreneurial trainings that are free, that they sometimes give them provide them loans and grants after maybe a uh, training them for a particular period of time. So, but in general, policies in Nigeria are always on paper. We can read them, but we hardly see the effect. Maybe this can we can trace this back to the fact that most of these policies are not, they are not implementable. They are not really, really organic. They are only sweet. When they bring it up, it sounds like, okay, this is a problem solving approach that they are trying to apply to these situations. But maybe, most of these policies are copy and paste. You copy policy that works in China, you want to paste it in Nigeria. You copy policy that works in Cameroon, you want to, without considering some factors such as population and all that. So all these things has made this policy to flop, even being a good policy. But considering what we have, can this work in our country? That's another question we should ask ourselves before before looking at why these policies have failed. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Mr. Yusuf, I thank you very much. Um, Thank you. It's obvious the class. Nobody have question in the class. There's no contribution. So, in the absence of any question or contribution, so if there's any reference that has presentation to make, please let us know.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Hello,
afternoon.
sir.
Good afternoon, madam. Good afternoon.
Yes, sorry, I've been struggling with the network.
Okay.
Thank you. I
Okay.
think I have my presentation ready.
Okay. You are ready to do your presentation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please write down. You have 10 minutes to do that.
Okay, sir.
Your
Thank
time
you.
starts now.
All right, sir. My topic is human capital and governance are crucial for development. Discuss. I gave this approach in this manner. First, looking at what exactly is human capital. He said this refers to the knowledge, skills, and abilities of individuals that can contribute to economic value and productivity. Quoting from Gary Becker, who argued that individuals invest in their human capital through education and trainings so as to increase their earnings. His theory is also closely similar to that of Jacob Mensah. His concept is that human capital functions and investments affects earnings. That is to say that human derivables are towards economic growth and competitiveness. What exactly are we talking about? Because after the acquisition of such skills, we are trying to merge it with what governance is all about. We here that are students of public policy and governance, particularly we are also developing our human capital. So coming to governance is a process of the interplay of laws, of norms, communications to oversee and direct the affairs of achieving a goal as a government, even as a company or community. So when governance and human capital is viewed, it drives home the fact that human capital is necessary because it involves the interplay of skills acquired. And that is by trainings, education to contribute to economic value and productivity, which spells the cruciality in development. And I try to look at the keys to economic growth and then to governance. I said crucial for development is for sustainable economic growth. And so when you are developed, you can add value to the economy. You can add value or see to poverty reduction. You can add value to improve human development. That takes us to the issue of Rwanda. Rwanda's investment in human capital, including education, health, has driven economic growth and poverty reduction in that nation today. And then we go back to human capital also increases productivity in the form of education and skills. Because when you are developed, when you increase your human capital base, you become innovative and you add to entrepreneurship. You could be able to do new businesses, jobs, and that automatically is boosting the economic growth. As human capital also makes us better to take better informed decisions. In decision making, an illiterate cannot make an informed decision, especially in health, financial issues, or social outcomes. Also, in governance. Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, because I could hear only myself, I wasn't hearing anybody.
Okay, okay.
So,
I'm
in
hearing you.
governance, yes, by human capital, in governance, you are able to distinguish and make the use of the rule of law. This involves good knowledge in rights to ensure an egalitarian society. You also been able to be transparent and accountable, even though in the Nigerian factor that can be debated. But somehow, theoretically, it ensures accountability and transparency so that resources are used correctly. Both human, both financial, both material resources are channeled to the best way it can boost whatever desire it is targeting towards. It also enhances stability and predictability. Good governance can attract investment and promote trade, and it also fosters economic growth. And I come to the conclusion that human capital and governance is crucial for development, being that there is a mutual reinforcement. It creates a conducive environment where you are able to apply what you have learned and be able to add value. It also is a vicious cycle, virtuous in the sense that human capital and good governance drives economic growth, it reduces poverty and improves human development outcomes. It's also an avenue because it brings synergy. Synergy leads to increased economic growth, improved healthcare, education outcomes, and enhances social cohesion. This issue of human capital and human capital and governance are really interwoven if development is to be achieved. It can never be overemphasized that show me a country where it lacks human development, I will show you a country where poverty thrives. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam. You have done well in your presentation. Please, class, do you have any question? Do you have any question for our teacher, our lecturer, Mrs. Simi Dusu? If you have any question for her, please ask. If you have any contribution to make, you can do that. Madam, please remind us of your topic again, hence we do not have the copy.
Yes, my topic says human capital and governance are crucial for development.
Okay, thank you very much. So, class, the ball is in your court. What contribution do you want to make? Any question, please? No questions? No contribution? Thank you, madam. So please, is there any other person that want to present? If you are ready to present, please do that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. It seems not that person is ready to present. Okay. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hence,
We are with you, sir.
no other person is ready to present. I just want you to know that we will soon end classes, and those of you that have presented, please make sure that your work is properly developed. Get your hard copies ready and you submit it to the secretary, Naomi. So follow the guidelines and submit your work. Okay? Any question before we end the class? Any question? Hello? Ishaya, are you there? Bolaji, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm available, sir. Yes, sir. No.
Okay. Please, those of you that have not presented, presentation ends next week, Friday. After the presentation, we will have revision, and then we bring the class to an end. Am I understood?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Well understood, sir.
Yeah, those of you that have not presented, you have next week, Friday. You have to do your presentation by next week, Friday, during our lecture time. After the presentations, we have revision, and we bring the class to an end so that you can read, because the exam is around the corner. Have you seen the exam timetable?
No, sir.
Or you have been told when we are starting exams? Have you been informed?
Yes, sir.
What date are we starting exams?
Mountain, I think 29.
Okay.
Let me check.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
29, 38, and 30, yes, 29 and 38.
Okay. What is today's date?
Today is 9.
9th. So next week, Friday, will be what?
16. 16.
So that's the day we are ending our classes.
Yes, sir.
Because after the presentations, we will have revision. And then we bring the class to an end. So take your studies more seriously. And I would have loved a situation whereby more people do their presentations today, but it seems that no other person is ready to do presentation. So just know this, that that is good to pass well in your examination. And passing well in your examination entails your participation in class. Your participation in class is key. And then your ability to do your assignments, do your presentations, all that boosts your grade. And above all, try as much as possible to 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 revise whatever we have studied. Those of you that resumed late, try to collect the what your colleagues have done before now. And also, as master students, try and do some further reading. Read so that you can truly be the master that you're aspiring to be. So I thank you all for your active participation. In the absence of any question, we'll bring the class to an end. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Bye.